is a story, a fantastically true story, from the files of Herbert A. Philbrick, who for 9 frightening years did lead 3 lives: citizen, communist, counter-spy, and who has now revealed for the first time his secret files concerning not only his own activities, but also the current activities of other counter-espionage agents. For obvious reasons, the names, dates, and places have been changed, but the story is based on fact. This week, Herbert Philbrick brings you the story of the counter-spy who exposed a new and vicious communist plot to obtain security information.
Sent the American woman in. Come in. Please.
What do you want, Colonel Michael?
Lottie Cobb. After 4 years and 8 months, you are no longer welcome in the People's Republic. You are given 24 hours to leave the country.
Well, I don't need 24 hours. I can... But what about Peter?
Your brother? He goes with you.
Oh, thank you.
Come in.
Peter? Peter. Are you all right, Peter?
I'm all right, Lottie. Don't do that.
But you're not, Peter. What have you done with my brother?
Nothing. Does he not look wonderful?
He's not Peter, and you know it.
He is not Peter, and I know it. But for a moment, you did not. And this is the important thing to remember. If you thought he was Peter, there will be others who will accept him. Among them, the American consul.
You'll never get away with that.
We will, my dear girl, we will. We have been most careful in creating a double for Peter Cobb. The best diction professors, the best of everything. He even sounds like Peter, does he not?
If you think I'm going to be a party to something like that...
What can you do? You ask me what we have done with your brother. So far, nothing. He's in good health. How long he remains in good health is up to you.
I don't believe you. This is another one of your cheap commie tricks.
My dear girl, your brother is alive.
Well, I want to see him.
I want you to see him. I want you to be satisfied that he looks good and that he feels good. When you leave for America, I want you to put your mind at ease about your brother's safety. Peter, this Peter, will return to America with you. Your brother remains here to guarantee not only your silence, but your complete cooperation. This is no time for tears. You and your brother are returning home.
You swine! You filthy swine!
Relax, my dear girl. I understand Mr. Philbrick is a very pleasant and capable advertising executive.
Lottie still isn't used to the idea of being home. Isn't that right, sis?
Yes, Peter.
Oh, hello. Gosh, I'm so sorry to be late.
That's all right, Mr. Philbrick. Your secretary told us to make ourselves comfortable, and we have.
Good.
I'm Roger Standish.
How do you do? And you're Peter And you're Lottie Karp.
That's right.
How do you do?
How do you do?
You recognized us so quickly.
Well, I couldn't very well help it. The papers have been full of your pictures lately.
Oh, yes. These 2 weeks at home have been a progression of flashbulbs.
That's part of the price of fame.
And since they're paying the price of fame, they might as well reap some of its rewards. I've arranged a cross-country tour for the Karps to tell the Americans what they experienced behind the Iron Curtain. 15 cities, 4 weeks, which is where you come in, Mr. Philbrick.
Yes?
We want you to accompany us on this trip. Handle the press releases, all the publicity and promotional problems.
Well, that offer is sudden and overwhelming. I'd be delighted to do it.
Good. Then we can move right ahead. We leave the day after tomorrow.
The day after... Well, that doesn't give me much time, but I guess I can make it.
Good, that's fine.
Press agent for an anti-commie lecture tour. I wonder what Jerry Dressler of the FBI will say to that. What's up, Herb? Lottie and Peter Karp.
The repatriates?
Yeah. Roger Standish has booked them on a lecture tour. I've been hired to handle press and promotion for the tour.
Well, what's your problem?
Are you kidding? What's the party gonna say when I suddenly turn out to be an anti-communist press agent?
The party will probably be delighted. You can be of great value to them in that spot, Herb.
I suppose I could. Maybe they will figure that way. But look, out of the dozens of press agents and advertising agencies in town, why did Standish pick me? Why me?
Coincidence, maybe?
Maybe.
Anything else?
No, not at the moment, but I'll try and keep in touch with you as this thing develops.
Good. In the meantime, I'll see what I can find out. See you, Herb.
Coming. Oh, hi. Come on in. I'll be right with you.
Take your time. I'm a couple of minutes early. Is Mrs. Philbrick at home? I'd like to meet her.
Oh, you missed her by half an hour. She and the kids will be staying with my mother-in-law while I'm away on tour.
Good, and I can speak freely. I'm sure the question has occurred to you, why were you chosen for this job?
The question has occurred to me. Then I assumed that you had dug into my background.
With a fine-tooth comb, Comrade Herb.
What's his comrade?
It's all right, Comrade Herb. I'm from the Central Committee.
Look, you hire me to do an anti-communist campaign, then you call me comrade. What's the idea?
I suggest you call Comrade Steve, your cell leader.
Where?
He's on vacation at Lake Lesser. Oak Grove, 77327.
Okay. You can't blame me for being careful. What about Peter Karp and his sister? Do they know we're in the party?
Of course not. I'm in the lecture business. They came to me. They know nothing else, which will make the job of neutralizing what Karp says from the platform easier.
How do we prevent the press from writing the obvious headlines?
When you prepare your press releases and your promotional material, you'll know what to do. A phrase here, a paragraph there, with subtlety. We'd better go.
Everything is pat, too easy. What's really behind this lecture tour?
What degrading that anyone in this auditorium can possibly imagine. A free people. Free people. Let's see, among our own people, a free people. It's because Sis and I think it's because Sis and I are back where we belong.
This is stop number 1. Well, here we are. Put the lady's gray bag in this room, please. Peter, this'll be your room. Put the dark brown suitcase in here, please. Herb, you and I will share this room. Is that all right?
Oh, yeah, sure. Sure, that'll be fine.
If you'll excuse me, the trip has been very tiring.
You get a good rest, my dear. We want you to look your prettiest for our opening lecture tonight.
Poor sis. We should have taken a long vacation before starting this lecture tour. But there is work to do. Time for vacation later.
You're so right, Peter. And speaking of work, I'd better check on the arrangements for tonight. Herb, if you have that material ready, I'll take it with me.
Yeah. Want me to go along, meet the local press?
No, you relax this time. I'll handle it.
Well, if you need any help, just holler.
Oh, here you are. Thank you. I'll see you fellas later.
All four of you walking on eggshells. Not because of Standish, it's Lottie. Something between her and her brother. She looks as if she could kill him. Why? What happened behind the curtain before they were freed? Well, I guess I'll stretch my legs a little. Report number 1 to the FBI. There'll be more before this lecture tour is over, Philbrick. You can make book on it. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Couldn't sleep, huh?
No.
You, looking for something to read?
Well, no. Well, I mean, yes.
Oh, wait a minute. You seem awfully nervous. What are you scared of?
Well, I'm not afraid. I'm just tired.
Who's Peter?
Well, he's my brother. Mr. Philbrick, please. If you don't keep out of this, my real brother might...
Oh, now, wait a minute.
What did you say to her?
Well, nothing at all. I asked her if she was looking for something to read, and suddenly she burst into tears.
Capitalist trash.
Yeah, I suppose it is, but I do like to know what the other side is thinking. This is crazy, but Peter could be a commie plant. If he is, you can understand Lottie. Her fears are subdued terror. And if he is a plant, her real brother must be a hostage to buy her silence.
But somehow all the mental and physical tortures seem to have happened a long time ago to someone else. Not to me, Peter Karp. And I think it's because Sis and I are back where we belong, among our own people, a free people.
Well, that was quite a speech.
My boy, if the rest of the tour goes half as well, America has a new matinee idol.
Oh, thank you. But Sis here, sitting on stage looking so beautiful, put them in a good mood to listen to anything I had to say.
You're so right, my boy. The local citizens are absolutely smitten with the both of you. We're all invited to a party at the hotel in half an hour.
I've met an old Army friend. Told him I'd visit him right after the lecture.
Bring him along.
Perhaps I will. In any case, you three go ahead without me. I'll see you later at the hotel.
Visit an old Army friend. Yeah. Which Army? You better find out where he goes, Philbrick.
We can use that half hour before the party to plan our campaign for our next date.
Oh,
Well, have you other plans?
No, I was just trying to figure out an angle for my story. I guess I can base it on his closing remarks.
Shall we discuss it at the hotel?
Yeah, sure.
Hello.
Hi.
Right
Rang your front doorbell, but there was no answer. Heard this noise, so I came back.
What can I do for you?
My name is Peter Carp, and I've come to do you a favor.
Favor, huh? You sound like a city fella.
Well, I am. But the city's quite a distance from here. I met somebody you know in that city. Edward Thompson.
Just what did you say your name was?
Peter Carp.
Oh, you're the fellow the commies let loose.
That's right.
Well, you must have made some mistake. My boy was killed in an accident in Europe.
Did you see the body?
Was never recovered.
Because he's alive. In the camp that I just left.
Describe him.
About my height. Brown hair, brown eyes. A scar across the top of his left hand.
That's right. He cut himself with a scythe on his left hand when he was 5 years. Did you talk to him?
Yes, just before I left.
Did you tell the authorities?
No.
Why not?
Do you want to see your boy home?
Of course I want to see my boy home. What kind of a dang fool question is that?
You'll have to pay for it.
Sure, but I don't have much money.
We're not interested in money. You're the foreman at the local atomic experimental center. You get to see all kinds of interesting plans and blueprints. For 6 months of this, you get your son back. Why didn't you ask your wife if it's worth it?
Is that how you got out?
Don't worry about me, old man. Worry about your son. Realization of freedom came suddenly and thankfully. Realization of freedom came suddenly, thankfully.
It's the same speech in every city. A lot of words strung together that don't say much of anything, but the audiences eat it up. I wonder where he got his training. At the Moscow Art Theater? Where did he lose his accent? Who is he? After every lecture, Standish uses some pretext so that you can't follow Peter Carp. But it's all right, Philbrick. The reports to Dressler have alerted the FBI, and they're probably on Carp's trail right now. But suppose Dressler never got those reports. What if... Take it easy, take it easy. This is no time to get jumpy. The old mousetrap play. Put in a box, shoved in a corner. Always somebody between you and Lottie. Standish and Peter, or whoever he is, must be getting worried. What happens to Lottie when the lecture tour is over? What happens to Peter? For that matter, what happens to you, Philbrick?
Have you been happy on this trip, Comrade Herb?
Not only happy, I'm always anxious to serve the party in any way that I can.
But you haven't seemed happy on this trip.
Well, I haven't been, really. I can't see that I've served any useful purpose.
You mightn't realize the importance of it, but the work we've been doing, all of us, is most vital to the cause. I'm commending you to the Central Committee for a job well done.
But I haven't done anything.
Let me be the judge of that.
What about Peter and Lottie Carp? What happens to them after this afternoon? This is their last lecture.
Peter's off on a bourgeois vacation, fishing in Maine. Lottie will be my house guest till Peter returns. Have you finished your last press release?
No, it'll take about an hour.
While you do that, I'll check on the arrangements.
So that's it. The phony brother returns behind the curtain, his job completed. And Comrade Standish takes care of Lottie until the real Peter shows up. If he shows up. Wait a minute. His coat. Take a chance, Philbrick. There may be something, anything. Take a chance. Usual stuff. Wait a minute. A list of names. One name in each city covered by the lecture tour.
No, Herb. Where's Standish?
He just went down to the desk, I think, to check on some final arrangements or something. I don't know. These must be his real contacts. You've got to get these names to Dressler. Memorize them, Philbrick. He took his coat.
What are you doing with my wallet, dear sister?
I found it on the floor. You must have dropped it. And don't call me sister.
Would you rather I called you darling? You're a very pretty girl.
Stop it. I want to talk to you.
Talk.
What about my brother?
You saw him. You spoke with him before you left. What else do you want?
When will I see him?
2 weeks, a month. As soon as I have returned safely, he'll be sent to you.
But how can I be sure?
You'll just have to trust us.
But I don't trust you. You're a bunch of... Suppose I tell the police or the FBI before you have a chance to leave the country.
You're such a naive child. And you make such foolish gestures. As long as you feel you're endangering your brother's life, you'll be a good girl. As for what happens later, it will make no difference. You can't harm me once I'm home. Hello? Thanks, I'll be right down. The airport bus is here. Herb, I've enjoyed meeting you. And if I ever do another lecture series, I hope Mr. Standish brings you along.
Well, thank you very much. Are you planning another lecture series?
And it's too soon to say. Perhaps I'll make up my mind while I'm fishing. Thanks for everything. Now, you be a good girl and relax at Mr. Standish's house. The lecture tour is over. Again, thanks. And goodbye.
What is the FBI doing? They can't let this phony Peter Karp get away. What's the matter, Philbrick? Didn't the FBI get your reports? Jerry, you let him get away.
There was nothing we could do to stop it without tipping our hand. You did a good job, Herb. First that note on Standish, and then that list of names and addresses.
What was on that list?
Relatives of Americans supposedly behind the Iron Curtain. That phony brother, his real name was Jarowich, was trying to set up a spy ring, trading the lives of those behind the curtain for information. We double-checked the names of every single one on that list. They were all dead even before Jarowich came over here.
Oh, those dirty...
Well, take it easy, Herb. The commies don't know we uncovered their spy ring. We're going to use it to send them doctored information.
What about the real Peter Karp?
He's dead.
Who's going to tell Lottie?
I guess that's going to be my job, Herb.
Golly, Jerry, I wouldn't have your job for anything in the world.
And I wouldn't have yours, Herb.
spies' alertness in recognizing a phony American saved innocent victims from betraying their country. Next week, another story of communist activities from the files of Herbert A. Philbrick, counter-spy, a man who for 9 years posed as a member of the Communist Party. This is a story, a fantastically true story, from the files of Herbert A. Philbrick, who for 9 frightening years did lead 3 lives: citizen, communist, counter-spy, and who has now revealed for the first time his secret files concerning not only his own activities, but also the current activities of other counter-espionage agents. For obvious reasons, the names, dates, and places have been changed, but the story is based on fact. This week, Herbert A. Philbrick brings you the story of the counter-spy who disappeared for 8 terrifying hours. Berlin, a city where anything can happen and the communist pressure is unrelenting. Passenger, Herbert A. Philbrick, Associated Advertising Agency. Destination, International Airport, USA. Time of departure, 6 p.m. Tempelhof Airport, West Berlin. Only one thing left to do here in Berlin. Contact German